Okay, let's talk about all the geometrical angles you need to know for high school. Well, the first one would be known as a right angle. How do we know something's a right angle? Well, we can look at this little box that's given to us. This means that theta, I'm going to call all my angles theta. Okay, this means that theta is equal to 90 degrees. So this is what's known as a right angle. What about a straight angle? Well, a straight angle theta is equal to 180 degrees. So, which is also known as the sum of a straight line. So a straight line is 180 degrees. 180 degrees, excuse me. Okay, let's move over to with theta. Well, in this case, theta is greater than 90, but it's less than 180. When we see something like this, we are dealing with an obtuse angle. Made a little bit of a spelling error. Okay, so theta is between 90 and 180. Take note that it's not 90 and it's not 180. If that was the case, there'd be an equal sign below the value. What about this one? What about when theta is between 0 and 90 degrees? Well, then we're dealing with an acute angle. So we can have like a little sharp mouth and a open mouth. Sort of a way to think about it. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. Well, what about this one? Ooh, that one seems dodge. Well, this one is theta is between 180. Theta is just a reference to an angle. Okay, it's between 180 and 270. This is known as a reflective angle. And then we get to where we complete a full circle. This would be known as a revolution. A revolution. Okay, a revolution also refers to a circle. A full circle circumference is one revolution. Okay, let's move on to a little bit of more advanced angles. So these ones you'll deal with later. You'll probably be introduced to these type of angles first. Then you'll move over to these ones. Well, provided these two lines are parallel, these two angles are equal. So we can then say, let's say A and B. If these two lines are parallel, then A is equal to B. And only if they're parallel. Okay, these are known as corresponding angles. Provided, now we're dealing with properties. Properties mean that we need some verification before we can make an indication of what the angles are. Well, what about these two? Well, let's say this angle is A, this one's B. A will be equal to B if this line is parallel to this line. Okay, and these we call alternate angles. Okay, alternate angles. So these are actually interior alternate angles, and you also get exterior alternate angles. But we'll deal with that in another video. What about this one? This one's a U. So if this line is parallel to this line, then these two angles, A and B, then angle A plus B will be equal to 180 degrees. Okay, so if this one is 30, this angle, provided our lines are parallel, this angle then has to be 180. And these are called interior angles. Okay, interior angles. Okay, we're almost done. If you can somehow memorize all of this, you should not have a single problem in high school geometry. Unless it comes to shapes, of course. That's something different. Anyway, let's move over to these two angles. Oh, this might seem like a right angle, right? Well, you're correct. A plus B is equal to 90 degrees. When we have the statement where A plus B is equal to 90 degrees, we call these ones complementary angles. Complementary angles. So the sum of two angles, if they give you 90, those are complementary angles. And then let's look at the final one. Let's say A and B. Yes, you can see that A plus B is in fact 180 degrees. If that is the case, we have supplementary angles. So the sum of two angles, if they give you 180, these are known as supplementary angles. Now, very important, when we see these corresponding alternate and interior angles, we need to look for parallel lines, but everywhere else you can identify what type of angle you're dealing with by just looking at the image provided. So let's do a quick little example. So let's say I give you this, that, and this. Now I ask you, what is angle A? What is angle B? What is C? So let's see. A will be a right angle. B, an acute angle. What about C? Well, C would be the reflective angle. Okay, that's a brief little overview of every angle you need to know for high school geometry.